What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here. Welcome to Afternoon's Delight. So, I've already done the video talking about Shericka Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce at the top. Y'all can go check that video out. This is mainly going to focus in on the Americans in the race, mainly Aleia Hobbs and Sha'Carri Richardson. Tamara Clark had a nice finish with 11.03. So, we're going to talk about this because Aleia Hobbs beat Sha'Carri Richardson again. But I also thought that this was a good race from Sha'Carri. I think Sha'Carri's back because even though she's probably still struggling a little bit to beat the Jamaicans, just her running under sub 11 seconds is something that wasn't where she was at when she had that disastrous month of June. Like the last time we saw Sha'Carri, she probably would have been towards the bottom of the standings. But she looks focused after winning that race early in the week in Switzerland. And she looks focused, man. But let me go over the scores real quick for you guys. Put it up on the screen here. Shericka Jackson had a 10.73. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce with a 10.74. The real person to keep an eye on, especially in the final next week, is Marie-Josée Ta Lou. She's been very consistent, been on top of the qualification stands. I'm about to go over the qualification stands in a moment. She had a 10.78. Aleia Hobbs has punched her ticket into the final, 10.91. Sha'Carri Richardson, 10.93. Tamara Clark right behind them. The other American, 11.03. Sandy couldn't even compete in this with 11.15. I think a lot of people probably happy about that, by the way. Delphine Kanza from Belgium, 11.29. And she was able to race in front of the home folks, but did not win. Now, let's look at the qualification standings here. So, Shericka Jackson actually surpassed Marie-Josée Ta Lou with 35 points to be on top. She will be in the finals as well as Marie-Josée Ta Lou. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce right behind him with 23 points. Aleia Hobbs, fourth with 18 points. So she's had an incredible season, Aleia Hobbs here. Elaine Thompson-Herrod, 16 points. I'm expecting a Jamaican sweep, but I think Ta Lou, Netta, and Hobbs are the threats. I would normally say Dina Asher-Smith, and it depends on if she's not that hurt next week, because if she's not that hurt, she could come in third or fourth. But she had 13, and TT Terry gets the last spot. She actually gets the qualification spot over Sha'Carri Richardson. If Sha'Carri Richardson would have hopped into fourth, she probably would have qualified for this event, and Tanisha Terry might have been out. So Sha'Carri Richardson was like right there, guys, to making the final next week. And it would have been fun to see her in that final. But like I said before, I think Sha'Carri is kind of back on track. I feel like me and, by the way, shout out to Indian Sports, Indian Sports Media. Go subscribe to this channel. Awesome content over there. We were actually talking about we think Sha'Carri needs to be under 11 flat. And she did that in this race. We weren't looking for her to win or come in the top three or nothing like that. We were just looking to see if she could come in at least under 11 flat. She did well beyond that with a 10.93. Right behind Aleia Hobbs, so she's in a good spot. I think her focus is a little back right now, and we're just gonna have to keep monitoring her because I want her to come back. I'm rooting for Sha'Carri because I think Sha'Carri's got a lot of talent. I think she means well, but she's very immature right now at this stage in her life, and just she just needs to mature. But I think she's still a world-class runner. I talked in if y'all want to watch that video, it's on my channel. Talked about her and Abby Steiner competing potentially next year. We want to see that. We want to see these races. We want to see, because just imagine on the American side, if you got Sha'Carri Richardson over here, then Abby Steiner over here doing her thing. Like, that'd be freaking incredible, man. Those are some top names that we can see bringing all this hype into the sport like they have the last 2 years, man. So I really want to see Sha'Carri do well, but I really do think more people need to recognize Aleia Hobbs. I think Aleia Hobbs she's starting to show me some more consistency. At first, she was kind of like up and downish, but she's been very consistent this season. I have to give it to Aleia Hobbs, man. She been showing out. Tamara Clark, I think she had a lot of races this year, man, so she hasn't been running her best. Obviously, she's more of a 200-meter runner, but, that's the thing about that. But I think Aleia Hobbs having, Sha'Carri Richardson's number, it might not last forever. I think these two will push each other. I think they had a good race between each other. And it's just too bad that Sha'Carri won't be in the final next week, but for the championships, But I would have liked to see if she could have finished in the top 5 again, you know. So that's how I feel about that. Go ahead and like this video. Get this video a like out. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new in the zoo. Any comments I got, definitely put them below. And if you want to donate to the channel, hit the super thanks button below. But again, guys, I was very impressed with those 2 Americans. I was even a little bit impressed with Tamara Clark. Better score than what she's been having. She wasn't under 11 flat, but I think she did pretty well. And like I said, as long as Sha'Carri was under 11 flat, that's all I was worried about with her. I wasn't expecting her to like beat anybody like Ta Lou or whatever. I wasn't expecting none of that, or the Jamaicans. But Aleia Hobbs, you know, I think had another good race. Because even if she was in the 10-8, she still wouldn't have been in third. So it wasn't like, you know, her score was like somehow that bad to the point where it cost her being in second or third or something like that. But it was also nice to see Shelly-Ann and Fraser-Pryce back in this race because we didn't see her last week. But next week's final is going to be very interesting, guys. So I'll see y'all then. Check out my Abby Steiner video, like I said. Hopefully we get the chance to run some film on Shacarri Richardson from her race earlier this week. I'll probably do that sometime later in the fall. So be on the lookout for that, man. We'll see what's next for Sha'Carri Richardson. I don't know if her season is over after today or if she still has some races to go. But we'll see what happens, man. Thank you guys for watching. After News Delight.